Hello everyone, welcome to this PHP tutorial where today we are diving into one of the most powerful building blocks in programming, that is functions. Imagine you are writing the same lines of codes over and over. Sounds tired, right? That's where the functions come in. They help you organize your code, avoid the repetition, and make your programs cleaner and smarter. In PHP, creating a function starts with a simple but powerful lines like function with the function keyword and your function name. Inside the curly braces, we declare some code that we want to execute. This lines tells PHP, hey, here is a set of instructions I want to save and use later. Where you want to greet a user, calculate something, or perform any task again and again. Functions make it all possible. So let's learn how to create, call, and master functions in PHP step by step. Let's go. So first one is user defined functions in PHP. Uh, Functions are of two types. First one is user defined and another one is built-in functions. Built-in functions, these are the functions that come with PHP. That means you don't need to write them, just use them. For example, string length to count the characters in a string, or a date function to get the current date. PHP has over hundreds of these ready to use tools. All you need to drag and drop means use that without any declaring a code for that function. But whereas the user defined functions, these are the once you create, it means if you want to execute some code that is not present in PHP built-in function, that you have to declare it and call to execute that code whenever you want. If you want to reuse a block of code again and again, just write a function. For example, the function name, function keyword and function name. Inside the curly braces, you can give the whichever code you want to execute that. Your Here you can see PHP functions are reusable components which can be managed independently and calls upon as needed from different PHP programs. They reduce the amount of duplicate code and also makes our script learner more efficient and easier to maintain. Here you can see the syntax of a function declaration. We use the function keyword followed by we give the function name to that particular function, and inside the parenthesis we can pass the parameter or argument list, and in curly braces we have to declare a code that we want to execute. And if argument list, we have to if there are multiple parameters that we are passing to that function, that has to be separated by comma. Here you can see when this function is executed, when we call it, and the calling syntax for that function is we have to give like a function name and the argument list that the function required. Now the advantages of writing and using the function. First one is it reduces the duplication within a program, smaller, more efficient, and easier to read. Means when we want to execute some code multiple times, then it reduces the lines of code. That means if once code that we write multiple times, it may cause duplication and it create too more complexity for that program. And the next one is code reusability. A function is created once but used many times. If a function code changes, the changes are implemented in one script, the function definition, while the function evocations remain untouched. As I told, write a block of code once and then use it as many times as you want, just by calling its name. Imagine having to copy and paste the same logic in 5 or 10 different places. It becomes a nightmare to manage. But with the functions, you avoid that. For example, if you need to calculate the area of a circle multiple times, just create a function once, and that can be called upon whenever you want. Next one is debugging and testing a program becomes easier. When the program is subdivided into the functions, as it becomes easier to trace the source of an error and means Let's say your program isn't working as expected without functions. Your logic might be scattered all over the places, making it harder to find where is the error. But with the functions, your code is nicely organized into the blocks. Each function does one job. So if there is a problem, you can quickly test just that one function instead of checking the whole program. It becomes easier to debug and test. Next one is functions encourage the abstract thinking, creation of more robust and extensible software design. Means in PHP, abstract thinking means focuses on what a piece of code does instead of how it does it. Means and that's exactly what function help you do. For example, imagine you have one function called send mail. When you see that function name in your code, you don't have to worry about how this email is being sent, the server connection, the formatting, the header. That's all hidden inside the function. All you need to know that when you call that send email function, an email will be sent. The same, that's the abstract thinking. Next one is easy to understand. PHP function separate a programming logic, so it is easier to understand the flow of the application because every logic is divided in the form of functions. Functions makes your code simpler, cleaner, and easier to manage. They save your time, help you stay organized, and make it easier to fix any problem. So it is easy to understand whenever we use the functions. Now we will see small example on functions. First we have to start our XAMPP Apache to execute the code, and I will open the Sublime text. Inside the PHP, here I will declare one function. To declare a function, we have to use a function keyword and our function name that I will give as hello, and in curly braces I will give the code that has to be executed. Here I will give hello or welcome to Codex Mitra. Now after this function declaration, I have to call that function with function name. Now I will save it and go to the browser. Here I will give the path as localhost, and I have saved that file into my XAMPP htdocs inside the Janvi folder, and our file name is example.php. Here you can see welcome to Codex Mitra. Now here I will declare one variable as name, and I will give the value as Gayatri, and here I will pass that parameter to this function, and here I will give the name. Now I will save it and execute. Here you can see our output is welcome to Codex Mitra, learn from Gayatri. This is how we pass the parameters to our function. Now we will see one more example on function, that is when we want to find the area of a rectangle. Here I will give the headline as area of a rectangle. Okay, here I use one form, and the method is equals to post. this form, I will give one input field as enter name, and input type is equals to text. Next, the name is equals to, here I have to give the enter length, and name is equals to length. After this, here I will give the break, and same I will copy it for width, and here I will give the name as width, and one more input field for the submit button. Type is equals to submit, value is equals to submit, and name is equals to submit. Now after this, I will remove this PHP, and inside this PHP structure I will create one function as area rect, and here I will pass that parameters length and width. One more variable as area, and here we have to multiply length and width. Now here only I will print the area of rectangle is the area. After this, here I will give the if is set, means this part will execute when the user presses on the submit button. Here I will give the name of that button, submit, L means we can give same, length is equals to $_ length, and width is equals to $_ post width. Now I will call that function as our function name is area rect, and here I have passed that parameters length and width. Okay, now save this. I have given wrong spelling here. Okay, wait, we will recheck it. Spelling. Okay, now save this and go to the browser. Here you can see our output is, here I will give the length as 2 and width as 3. Now I will submit it. Here you can see the area of a rectangle is 6. It is multiplied with this 2 and 3. There is one more point, not in the functions. What if this two we want to means that has to be print here after executing also. Now we have to do this, we have to give here a value, and that here I will show you. Value is equals to, here we have to use the PHP structure. If it set $_post, here we have to give the name, length, and here we only print that variable. Here you can see, here I have given the value as PHP is if is set $_post length, means the name that we given here, and here only I will printing. So after executing also this is not going to remove. Now I will execute this one and show you. Okay, here this dollar has to remove. Now save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see, here I am giving as length as 2, width as 3. Now I will submit it. Here you can see after submitting, the 2 has still printing in the input field. So when we want to print that value in this until we refresh, so we have to use the PHP structure. Here you can see PHP if is set $post and that name, and here only we have to print echo $post length. This has to be is equals to the value of that input field. Now I will save it, copy it, and here I will paste it. Only I will change the name of that is width. Now save and let's see. Here you can see I will give same, and after executing the code still it is printing that values that we input. So that's all for today's lesson on this PHP functions. Remember, mastering coding isn't about memorizing syntax, it's all about understanding how to solve problems step by step. If this video helped you level up your PHP skills, go ahead and give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for my real world coding tutorials on PHP. Thanks for watching.